Coming to you live from the JRE Tobacco Aladino Mobile Studios, it's the Cigar Pulpit.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I'm the Bishop of the Burn, Nick, and today it's Ask the Pulpit time. We're going to be answering your comments, questions, and whatever other random stuff you called into the hotline, and we'll be doing that and having a good time. We're going to have a good time. So today, first of all, let me talk about the cigar. I am going to be smoking another selection from the wonderful care package that Mr. Ed Sullivan sent me. I'm going to be smoking the Addict series from West Tampa Tobacco. And this is a 6x54 Toro featuring a Mexican San Andreas wrapper, binder of Nicaraguan Condega tobacco, and filler from Condega and Esteli, Nicaragua. And this is labeled as a full-bodied cigar. Now, this is the one that... when I had Rick Rodriguez on the show, he said that it was the red. Ed Sullivan has stated that it is not the red. I don't know. So this is gonna be my time to smoke this thing. And I guess first of all, though, we need to cut the cigar. And the official cutting is brought to you by 2guyscigars.com. That's the number 2guyscigars.com. They've been around for 40 years, and they are the trusted name in the cigar industry. Everybody knows Two Guys Cigars, but if you don't, please give them a try. You will not be sorry. Family owned and operated, 2guyscigars.com does the very best to provide a great selection, fair prices, and awesome customer service. I've talked about it on the show before, how I've been able to very easily order from Two Guys Cigars and 2guyscigars.com, and I think you guys will have a awesome experience as well. Head on over there and check out the full selection of everything they've got. You'll find something. I mean, everybody finds something. So please go to 2guyscigars.com for your next cigar purchase. Tell them that the Cigar Pulpit sent you. That's the number 2guyscigars.com. And now it's time to go ahead and cut the cigar. So, I am obviously flying solo tonight, coming to you from the JRE Tobacco Aladino Studios on the back deck of my house. You know what? And while I'm attempting to get the foot band off this thing, I think it's a good time to go ahead and do this.
Some say cigars are all the same. It's just not true. It's you I have to blame.
Well, I don't know, 'cause what I know, there is a cigar called Aladino Corojo.
Aladino Corojo. Aladino Corojo. They say authentic, so we're not confused, while the others say it's a word that's just abused.
I guess that's so, they can't compete. At least I'm sure Aladino can't be beat.
Corojo. Aladino Corojo. Aladino Corojo. Aladino Cigars use authentic Corojo tobacco from JRE Tobacco. This is the greatest commercial you ever heard.
Yeah.
That worked out well, because not only did it give me time to cut the cigar, but it also gave me time to light the cigar. So I may have to start remembering that for at least solo shows. It gives me that little time I need to do that. So, right off the bat, we have some fantastic draw off of this, kicking off smoke really, really nicely. It's one of those things when you get, it's a mental thing for me. When I get the Mexican San Andreas wrapper, I'm always like, I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, here we go. This is going to be a strong one. It's going to be a heavy one. And maybe it picks up later in the cigar. But right now it's a nice kind of smooth, light kind of draw off of the foot. So I'm looking forward to smoking this guy. So now that we've done that, we're gonna just go ahead and jump right into it because, like I said, this is the episode where I answer your calls and questions, and we'll see what you guys have been calling and asking about. So it's time to ask the pulpit.
Shall we play a game?
You talking to me? I have a question for you.
You gotta ask me nicely.
Ask me about my wiener.
You got a question? You ask the 8-ball.
Come on, sucker. Let's get it on.
You know, I just realized, hopefully all of you on the YouTube can see me well. I can see myself well in the camera, but that doesn't mean anything, I guess. I am currently using my tiki torch on my patio table to light the scene here. This was a great little buy. As everybody knows, I get bit up by mosquitoes horribly, and I bought this little tabletop tiki thing and the fuel for it, and it has been wonderful for keeping the bugs away. I have not experienced nearly the mosquito issue ever since I got this. So, big high praise to Tiki. You know, it's working out well, and it's a nice looking little lamp. It's good, and it kicks off a lot of light. So, anyway, let's head on over to the app here and see what we've got. So, you guys came through with calls, and I appreciate that. All except for that phone number. They called and didn't leave a message. So I guess we'll be starting with, oh dear God. Well, all right. Looks like this person decided to leave multiple, and so we'll see what we have here. So, and I think I know who this is. So we'll get it started.
Hey there, everybody. This is Trent. I've called before. You probably know who I am.
I knew
but
it.
Haven't called since this new iteration of the Ask the Pulpit. So thought I'd call in, help you out, Nick, get you some questions here. Some stuff we've been kind of talking about in group chats recently. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to unbox that right now.
You son of a bitch.
But did have a few things, you know, Pulpit Fest coming up. Can't wait. Hope everybody who's going's looking forward to it. It'd be great to meet some new folks. Just going to throw it out on here. I put it out on the parishioners group on Facebook, but didn't get any response. Anybody coming down that, or I guess depends on where you're coming from, but coming to Pulpit Fest, who might be interested in going, playing a little golf? I know Ken said he would, but I don't know if anybody else would. Either find the post on Facebook on the parishioners group, or go ahead and call in to Ask the Pulpit, I guess, and respond. But
there's no time
we'll
for that.
see. So far, not much interest, so... But another thing I had was, Nick, the burning questions Ask the Pulpit for while we're at Pulpit Fest. We're anybody who doesn't know, who hasn't read the post, we're going to have some hot peppers, maybe some sweet peppers mixed in just to kind of, you know, throw them off a little. But Nick is going to have questions that anybody and everybody wants to know that he can't Adam protocol.
I never agreed to that.
Give us your, you know, do your worst. Raunchiest questions, whatever. You know, deepest, darkest secrets, want to find out about Nick. The only way that he can Adam protocol is by eating a pepper. So, also, Nick, congrats on the house. Excited for you. Do we have a date yet for when we're doing a work day and like kind of housewarming thing to start getting things ready for preparing the shed? Let us know. All right, about to hit 3 minutes. Be back in a second.
And he did come back because there are 2 more messages from Trent. So, but first I'm going to address this. Trent, I never once agreed to the idea a un-Adam protocoled version of Ask the Pulpit at Pulpit Fest, especially one where I have to eat hot peppers if I do choose to not answer the question. I am not a guy who does well with extraordinarily spicy food, and I would like to preserve the integrity of my digestive tract and not do that. So, I don't know. You do this every year at Pulpit Fest. You come up with some sort of a thing that you think I'm going to do. And every year I don't do it. So I don't know why you continue to go down this road, but no, I will not be eating extraordinarily hot peppers or answering extremely invasive questions. But as for the golf thing, Trent, you've suggested this now 2 years in a row, and while I do find it an intriguing prospect, I'm not a great golfer, and I had enough on my plate. Organizing a golf outing is that's an exercise all on its own, and so while I appreciate that you're throwing it out there, it's one of those things where it may be one of those things where we add it down the road to Pulpit Fest and everything, but I think. This year, trust me, man, you've been to previous ones. This year's significantly different, and I think that alone is going to be impressive enough. And I think you'll see that I had enough on my plate without having to worry about a golf tournament. So, anyway, moving on to the next call from Trent.
Me again, Margaret. Here to finish out questions. So. Talking about the work day. Also, I know there's some talk about funding for the shed. Have you looked at doing a donor wall? I would say bricks. A lot of people do that, but if you're on if it's a shed, there probably shouldn't be a wall full of bricks. You may bust through. I don't know how the setup's going to be, but maybe a donor wall, some sort of little, tiles or nice little placards or something like that. Have people sponsor. They can do it, for themselves. They can do it in, memorial to someone and honor of someone. Just a thought, Nick. Just throwing that out there. Thought it could be good. You can have cigar companies that do sponsorships. You can have different size tiles or whatever it is. But might be a nice way to not put it on all on you or all on one company to do. Also, I think this was a response to an Ask the Pulpit question. I think it maybe was Dakota who was talking about having some desktop humidors inside of a cabinet with glass on it. I don't know. Someone called something about that. I was going to throw in my 2 cents. I've got some both desktop and small cabinets that have the glass with the wood, nice looking, but not always the best over time. Get some silicone caulk and go around that glass just to make sure you got a good seal, probably inside and outside, just because as that wood kind of expands and contracts over time, you can end up with air leaking through. So whoever that was, just an FYI, something in mind. But yeah, I think that's about it. Glad to see the Ask the Pulpit back and going strong. Hopefully this episode gets, comes out before Pulpit Fest. So, all right, parishioners, stay safe and stay smoky.
It will come out before Pulpit Fest, and Trent, I appreciate you trying to come up with ways that I can crowdfund the purchase of a shed that I can turn into a permanent studio and smoking lounge. Look, man, the honest answer is, I you know, I feel weird about the prospect of taking money from all of you for something that I'm going to have at my house. You know, I haven't done a Patreon in, 5 years, coming up on 5 years. Because, quite frankly, I just, it's one of those things where with a Patreon, I feel like there's an obligation to make sure that you guys are getting something, the donors are getting something above and beyond what I'm already putting out. And I'm already putting out 2 episodes a week, except for July, I suppose. But I'm already putting out 2 episodes a week, so, I don't really have the time to give you anything additional. And so I just, so I haven't done that. And, as for having a company, pay for it, I mean, dude, my sponsorship rates are very reasonable and fair. They're not at the point where I'm comfortable or able to reach out to like Aladino and say, hey, you're the studio sponsor. It's time for you to pony up the $15,000 to buy the shed, so that I can outfit it and get it prepped and ready and everything. I mean, don't get me wrong. If somebody were interested in doing that, I'd brand the hell out of that thing with their name and, company and whatnot. But realistically, I don't see anybody, interested in providing me something that, is kind of on me. I feel like it's on me to do. Anyway, but I appreciate it. Then, the donor bricks and everything. I mean, again, creative ideas. I appreciate the creativity, Trent. And you know what? Maybe one day down the line, just for fun, I might consider something like that. But realistically, the funding is going to be in place probably before I do something like that, and it would just be a way that people could, be a part of it or something. I don't know, and it would be super nominal. But I don't know. We'll see. Got one more call here from Trent.
Hey, it's Trent again, calling to Ask the Boy line. And just wanted to throw a couple more Pulpit Fest recommendations out there. I don't know really the logistics, kind of what it would look like, but I think it'd be cool if we did something like a cigar pass where everybody going or who wants to participate brought a cigar, in the same maybe $12 to $15 price range, and had have somebody do kind of like what happened with the Battle of the Budgets, with taking the bands off, putting something to denote what they are, letting having some sort of key, letting everybody pass around, whatever it is, however we wanted to do it, and just try something maybe that they've never had before, but tasting it blind, just seeing kind of what everybody gets, what everybody can figure out on it. But just thought it might be a fun little experiment to do, and then everybody be able to find out what they had at the end of it. Also, Sarah and I, in listening to some of the episodes of Plans to Go to Pulpit Fest, we were talking about that a cool idea might be if you were to get together some of the cigar smoking wives. So, like, Sarah's not a cigar smoker. She will have one every now and then with me, but, I know there's probably some other spouses that'll be coming to Pulpit Fest that are in that same category. Might be fun to do an episode with them, just kind of getting their side of things and their stories and all that. Not sure, but not sure what you're planning to record while there, but thought that might be a cool, different little episode. So just let us know, and look forward to seeing everybody down in Palm Coast in a couple of weeks.
Trent, as somebody who was married to someone who did not smoke cigars, let me tell you how that episode will go. He sits outside smoking cigars all day long while I'm sitting in here, taking care of the children and doing all this other stuff. And I wish he would put the cigars down and help me more. That may not be necessarily your instance, and it may not be everybody's instance, but yeah, it was something I heard. So anyway, the bottom line is, yeah, we can see. I don't know. I know I'm going to be recording an episode from Pulpit Fest. It's going to be, I have ideas for it. It's going to be a big undertaking. So realistically, I don't know about trying to tack in another episode into that mix as well. Because, I want to enjoy myself as well, and I don't want to be just behind the microphone doing work the whole time. But we'll see. We'll figure it out. Now, the first part of your call about the, the blind kind of smoking experience, buddy, I may have a few things cooked up for you that you just don't even know. And so I think that you ought to, it's not quite what you proposed, but I think it's going to be pretty badass. And so I'm going to just going to leave it there. And, we'll go from there. It may come up in a future episode prior to Pulpit Fest here. I have, full disclosure here. I am banking up episodes, now prior to, because that week of, the week leading up to Pulpit Fest, I am super busy, and I'm traveling and everything else. And so, this episode I'm recording, this will obviously come out on Friday. And then on Tuesday, Tuesday would be the 20th, I'm going to have an episode with Renee Castaneda, president of Villiger Cigars North America. It's been kind of a floating target of when we're going to get him on. Originally, he was going to be on this episode. However, they had some internet issues at their office, and so we pushed back the recording time by a day. And so it kind of just worked out that I was able to slide this one in. I'll get him banked up for Tuesday. Then I got to worry about, Friday the 23rd, which I'll be obviously down in Palm Coast at that point. And then realistically, I'm going to also bank up an episode for Tuesday, the, what would that be, 27th? Yes, 27th, because I get back to St. Louis fairly late on Monday, and I'm not going to have time to edit together the Pulpit Fest episode. If it goes the way I think it's going to go, that's going to be an undertaking, and I'm not going to have time to do that after landing, and coming back. So the Pulpit Fest episode should actually be dropping on Friday the 30th. So anyway, that's kind of the way the next handful of episodes shake out. So just, letting you know. But I think you might get a little bit of an answer to what you proposed there in the episode with Renee coming up on Tuesday. Anyway, so this cigar, the Addict series by West Tampa Tobacco here. I'm smoking this, and I'll tell you, this is one of those ones that is deceptively smooth and almost mild with the smoking experience. You look at it and you're thinking, oh God, it's a dark bastard and it's going to be heavy, but it's definitely not a heavy cigar. It's presenting in a very kind of almost borderline mildish kind of smoking experience. I'm digging it, but I kind of expected a little bit more strength to it. But I am still in the first third, so you never know. Don't get me wrong, I'm really enjoying it. Flavor on it is awesome. I had a little bit of saltiness component that came in while I was listening to Trent's call there. That was really good. And it's been a very pleasant cigar, but yeah, it's presenting a little more mild than I thought it would be. So, all right, moving on to the next call here.
Hey, Nick, and whoever you got this week. So I was calling because after listening to the emergency management episode, I was reminded, so I'm in the same kind of industry, and I remember hearing about a vodka called Atomic Vodka. It's actually made from grain in the Chernobyl exclusion zone.
Whoa.
So in addition to a fun fact, I thought I'd ask, what cigar do you think would pair best with the Chernobyl-made vodka? Stay safe, stay smoky.
First of all, that's awesome. Second of all, not entirely sure I'd want to be drinking something that, you know, I mean, I guess it's got to be safe, but, well, let's be real. With all the bullshit in our food and everything these days, I guess it can't be any more dangerous than what we're consuming, you know, that way anyway. What cigar would I want to smoke with Chernobyl vodka? Boy, if Hammer and Sickle were still around, that would be kind of an appropriate pick. Trying to think of something with like a bomb. You know, there's the Firecrackers from United Cigar. But it's not really a bomb. It was more of like a meltdown. Yeah. I don't know. You know, it's almost one of those things where you say it would be a cigar that starts off just fine, and then by the end of it, it's just gone to hell. But you know, who wants to smoke that? Yeah, I don't know. That's a really good question, but that's super interesting. Atomic vodka. That might be something I have to look into just for the sheer novelty of it. I would imagine it's fairly expensive. I would think that something like that would be kind of expensive and difficult to come by. You know, but yeah, we'll see. Anyway, we got a couple more calls from people. We have a couple of calls here from another listener here, so we'll start with the first one here.
Hey, Nick, it's Dennis from the hinterlands of Western Canada calling.
What's up, Dennis?
Some comments for this call. Hope you're doing well. Congratulations on your new house.
Oh, thank you.
I'm sure you'll enjoy it, and it's always nice to be able to do whatever you want in your own place.
Right.
Another comment, really just finished listening to the episode with you and Noah, where you were munching some grindage with the Wendy's nubs. I believe that's what it was. Nugs, that's what it was.
It was Wendy's Nugs.
Not munching on Wendy's nubs. Anyhow.
That would be a whole different thing.
Hope they're here in Canada. I'd like to try some. That was a pretty good episode. I really enjoyed that. Another comment. Trey Mac. I have never looked the same at the moon since I heard that episode there before Christmas. So now it's stuck in my head. Every time I look at the moon, I hear Trey Mac's voice talking about the moon, especially early in the morning when I'm awake. What else? Just finished oh, damn it. It was a Hoya Black, and man, was it good. I've had a few of them. They're a little hard to draw on. They do have a little bit of canoeing. I think I had 5 of them over the past while here. Just one sec.
5 of them all canoed on you, man? That seems
Sorry about that.
Rough.
Yeah. What else? Oh, boy. One more comment. It's glad your house is on a slab so that Pulaski character can't sneak into crawl space on your home.
Yep.
And
I'll hear him in the attic.
If I think of anything else, I guess I'll call you back. Catch you later, Nick. Oh, one more question. I do have one. How do I send you a song? I've got a song for you for when you're wearing your kilt. I'm not on social media anymore, so I don't know if that'll go through email or not. Anyhow, I'll keep working on it. I believe you're wearing your kilt at Pulpit Fest, so would kind of like to get this song off to you. I just don't know how to modify some of the words. But anyways, that doesn't matter. Chat with you later. Bye.
Dennis did indeed send the song. He sent it via email, I believe. Let me see if I can. I think I can. No, that's a different one. Here we go. Yeah, it was. We'll just play a quick second of this because I don't know if I'm allowed to play this or not. Donald, where's your trousers? Love it. Love it. That is a nice little Irish ditty. And, you know, I'm going to be, I'm going to have to make sure that's added to the playlist at Pulpit Fest so that everybody there can listen to it. Good hearing from you, Dennis. Yeah, man, if you're smoking a cigar, if you've had 5 of them and they're all canoeing on you, that says something about the cigar and not necessarily like, a one-off. Every once in a while a one-off just happens, but if you've got 5 of them that are all doing that speaks to be an issue. Hopefully I misunderstood you there. But no, good to hear from you. And I continue to, because you called it a couple other times. So next one from Dennis here.
Hello, Bishop of the Burn. It's Dennis calling again. Just a few more comments. I think I finally got my hands on an Aladino cigar. I'll have to check the bands.
Ooh.
But it is a really good smoke. I am out on my patio where the wasps are dying because the wasp guy came today. Shout out to Ron, the wasp guy.
Shout out to Ron.
And what else? Oh, I'm enjoying this smoke with a dram of Lagavulin 16-year-old single malt. Just wondering if you've had any drams with your smokes lately. Perhaps you will at Pulpit Fest. Maybe you could try some of that blackberry brandy from Jerry Pulaski. I believe he is going to Pulpit Fest.
He is.
Oh, what else? Oh boy, it is a little late, but I thought I would share that with you. It's a nice balmy evening in Western Canada, enjoying the patio while it's warm before the winter comes. Cheers for now. Stay smoky, Nick. Bye.
See, this is what I love about these shows, is that, I like the fact that my show tends to be slightly more conversational and just hanging in the lounge. You get that kind of lounge atmosphere. At least that's what I go for. I go for that hanging in the lounge with your buddies kind of atmosphere. And I like getting these calls because it's like I'm hearing from my friends. I'm getting little updates. Dennis is out there smoking his cigar, having his dram, and he thinks to pick up the phone and call and leave a message for me. And it's wonderful. I like that. So I enjoy these ones. And so hopefully you guys do too. But thank you for the call, Dennis. And we got one more call here from Dennis. And then we'll do something else for a minute.
Hey, Nick. It's Dennis calling. Happy Monday. I was mistaken. I did not have an Aladino cigar, Cameroon, on my last call. It's an AJ Fernandez New World Cameroon. And I'm having another one right now on my grass. And I did send you a song, so check your Cigar Pulpit email. It says it went. Yeah, so I think you'll find it interesting. What else? Enjoying the show. Got to catch up on a few episodes here. We'll do that at work while we're checking our oil wells, which is what we like to do. Smoke and check oil wells, but don't smoke around the wells. That would be bad. That could be very ungood.
That would be very bad.
We'll see you later, Nick. Have fun at Pulpit Fest if I don't call in before then. Bye for now.
Yeah, that would be really bad. We don't need you smoking around oil wells. That's another thing right there. I find the selection of jobs that you all have so interesting. And, I don't know. There's so much logistics that goes into the listener interaction Tuesday episodes, that we did way back when, and getting that organized and all that. But something along those lines I gotta figure it out, because we've got guys from that are park rangers and emergency management, and guys checking oil wells in Canada and this and that and what. It's like there's just there was a gentleman who called in that works for the college, he's a physician or something with a college. I'm pulling this out of the back of my mind, and it's like there's you guys have interesting positions and jobs, and I think that it'd be fun to talk about that. But anyway, thank you for the call, Dennis. I do appreciate it. And now let's go ahead and do this. It's time for the Villiger Cigars Entertainment Report, brought to you by
Villiger.
Villiger Cigars, one of the leading cigar and cigarillo manufacturers in the world, founded in 1888 and still family-owned and operated. Head over to VilligerCigars.com and check the store locator to find a shop near you that carries them. We guarantee that Villiger Cigars will be a wonderful addition to your humidor and cigar rotation. Here I am praising the Tiki Torch, and I think I've been bit on my hands so much. Sitting out here during this episode is ridiculous. I mean, I know I feel like I've got probably 4 or 5 bites going just on my hands, because it's like pretty much the only exposed part of me sitting out here right now. And holy God, I wish I would have had some forethought to bring the bug spray out here to hit myself with that, and I did not, and I'm going to regret it. But because nothing sucks worse than getting bit by a mosquito on like your fingers or your hand. It's like there are some places that just suck worse than others, and dear God, getting bit on the hand, that blows. I hate it so much. Anyway, Villiger Cigars Entertainment Report. What have I been watching? What have I been entertained by lately? In terms of TV, I have been busy as shit, and I haven't really watched a ton. I do kind of have, I'm still slowly, just kind of keeping Home Improvement on in the background, burning through that. That's a show that I remember watching as a kid and enjoying, and it generally holds up. It's fairly 90s. I mean, when you look at the decor, you look at the clothing, you look at the hairstyles, it's fairly 90s, but there's not really much else that really dates it. It's a decent show. And I'm digging it. So I've been enjoying that. And then, I don't know, podcast wise, I got a little bit behind, so I've been catching up on Bad Friends. That's been funny. The episode with Jack Black, I think listener Paul reached out to me about that. And, yes, Paul, that episode is really, really great. So I've been digging that, and, I've been digging through my books. That's been something I've been doing too, is I've been unpacking, all of my books and kind of getting my bookcases set up. And when I was at the duplex, I had only one bookcase. The other 3 were in storage. And here, obviously, all of them are set up, and I have all of my books out. And I have a lot of books. More than can technically fit on those 4 bookcases. And I need to parse through them and determine, like, do I really want to keep all of them? Because, I mean, my God, I have so many. I didn't realize I still have books from, like, textbooks from college classes that I took that I thought were interesting, and things of that nature. So it's like, do I really need this stuff now? So some of this stuff I might be donating to my local library for, like, their book sale or something like that. But on the flip side, I'm finding so many books that I'm guilty of going to the bookstore, browsing around, finding something I think looks interesting, purchasing it, taking it home, setting it on a pile, and forgetting about it. So I have a lot of books to catch up on and to read, and So that's been nice. I'm finding a lot more entertainment there too. So I got that going for me. So what have you guys been watching and listening and reading here lately? You know, that's something that when you're calling into the hotline, you can give a little update and give a little, thing and just kind of tell me, what have you been entertained by? What have you been consuming? Because that's something that it's nice to know. It's nice to know, and recommendations are always good. So anyway, maybe that's something that, like I said, when you're calling into the hotline, maybe just include something that you've been watching, something you've been listening to, something you've been reading. So speaking of the hotline, let's go back to the hotline. We have another call here on the hotline.
Yeah, I'm just curious. I got a friend that asked me a question, and I don't know the answer. And you might have to get with those smoking ash and tapping butts boys. They might have the answer to this. How long would it take to smoke a brisket in a camper stove? Look forward to you finding out the answer to that for me. Thank you.
A, I think I know who that was. B, I think he knows full damn well how long it would take to cook a brisket, because I'm pretty sure he cooked me a spectacular brisket back in May of this year. So how you doing, Scott? That's Scott from the Smoking Butts and Tappin' Ash barbecue group and podcast. And as for smoking one in a camper, well, I think that's something we could ask Travis. I think he would know, although I don't know what he knows about smoking a brisket. So, whatever. We'll see. Anyway, good hearing from you, Scott, and we'll look into the answer to that question. So, anyway, we got another call here on the hotline.
Yes, I heard on the Cigar Authority that you may be sleeping over at Mr. Jonathan's house. My question, I guess, is which side of the bed do you prefer to sleep on? The side closest to the door, which would make you the man in that relationship, or the side away from the door, which would make you the more feminine person? Thank you.
So, it's kind of funny that question comes up, considering I was going to address this after the Ask the Pulpit segment here. But I have a little clip from the Cigar Authority from the other day that I'll go ahead and play now. Now, just to give you a little bit of a lead into this, so they have a segment where they answer listener emails and pick the email of the week. And one of the emails was suggesting a show idea where Dave and company kind of give, tips for cigar podcasts, like what kind of equipment to buy, how to come up with show topics, things of that nature. And so they were kind of talking and addressing that. So here, I will go ahead and play this clip because there are some things I want to respond to here.
The thing is, every podcaster is doing it different, and to say do it this way would be wrong.
Yeah.
Or else you got to try to come up with a better version of this, and they have better versions of what they do, and that's why I don't try to do them. But there's some simple things of being prepared.
Yeah, I mean, I think Nick at Cigar Pulpit wouldn't say he's a cigar podcast. He's a podcast, and they smoke cigars.
It's called Cigar Pulpit. It's a cigar podcast.
Then what does it have to do with emergency services? That was a whole show.
I know. Yeah.
So you don't like
off
it?
The rails.
You don't like it?
No, it just doesn't belong on the Cigar Podcast. It can be a part of a little segment, but I'm doing an entire show on emergency services, unless.
Maybe you'll have to counsel him when he's up here. Oh, you'll be too busy.
Yeah.
I'll tell him.
I think he's staying at my house.
Really?
I think so.
Well, I'll see him leaving less, right?
Probably true.
Yeah.
Did he tell you this? Or
I think I invited him when I was on his
right.
podcast, so I got to clean the basement. I got an extra bed down there.
You can have him down the basement.
He has his whole own room.
Is it clean and nice?
It's nice. It'll be
Yeah?
clean. I gotta do a little
It's
tidying.
not dirt floor or nothing.
No,
like
no,
that.
no.
No.
Cement floor, windows, fans, lights.
Yeah.
Might even put a TV down there for him.
Be nice. Okay.
So yeah, so much to unpack out of that clip. First of all, to Dave's point about the podcast, I kind of touched on it earlier. Now, admittedly, I kind of knew that this was coming, so I kind of seeded the clouds a little bit. But no, to Dave's point, I don't do what Dave does. Not entirely. I mean, obviously, I ripped off the cut, but but I don't do what the Cigar Authority does because they have a unique perspective, education, whatever on the industry. With owning 3 shops and being one of the top retailers in the country, probably the world. Dave, he has a lot of inside knowledge on the industry, things impacting the industry, various issues and concerns and just everything else. He has a lot that he has access to a lot of that a guy sitting in his backyard in St. Louis maybe doesn't have access to. And dude, that's what gives him, that's his competitive edge. That's the thing that makes him unique and different and makes him, the Cigar Authority. Yes, I am a show where we smoke cigars. We talk about cigars. We have retail or manufacturers on. We have retailers on. We have consumers on. We give kind of basic cigar reviews. I don't do, a numerical system. I have maybe some ideas, but I don't do a cigar numerical system on the show. Mostly because this all started as, an amateur that was getting going and was kind of podcasting his way through his cigar journey. And you guys have obviously grown to the point where, or grown with me to the point where I feel comfortable with this. And I feel like I'm speaking with some level of authority, obviously not the authority. But anyway, it's like I was saying earlier, I like to make sure that, this show is more, casual, perhaps more lighthearted and more, I don't want to say more fun because I enjoy listening to their show, but it's that lounge atmosphere. It's the guys sitting around the lounge BSing, talking about all kinds of different things. And if you listen to the conversations in the lounges, every once in a while they'll talk cigars, but they're talking about other shit. They're talking about all kinds of different stuff. And so every once in a while, a guest will come along that I'm like, they have something interesting and unique to bring to the table, and I think we should have them on. Cherry Chernobyl, with her emergency management experience and position and everything else, I thought it was fascinating. I couldn't get into too many details given the fact that she was kind of speaking anonymously. But I think we had some fun. I've had the gentleman on that talked about targeted individuals and how the government is CIA program and targeting individuals, and that might be resulting in some of the mass shootings and things of that nature that we've encountered over the last however many years. That episode is one of my top episodes on YouTube, believe it or not, because I guess people are searching for that topic and then they find me. And if you look at the comments on that episode, I don't delete the comments. People are ripping into me because I didn't take it as seriously as I should have. But let's be real. When I whatever. I don't want to get into that. But it's funny. Listener Luke, my 635 millimeter. He was messaging me a little while back, basically saying like, "Hey man, you need to have one of your like kind of weirder guests on. Like, every once in a while you got to sprinkle in a little bizarre guest just to kind of keep us on our toes and have a little something." Because I've kind of told him about a few different guest opportunities that I've had that I've passed on. But so with that said, he was really happy with the emergency management episode because it was something different. It was something, that he what I thought about. And I've actually had really good feedback on that. It's funny, when I do an episode like that, I'm thinking, okay, this is totally different than what I normally do. So, whatever. And I get really good feedback on that. So, to Dave's point, I don't do what they do. They don't really do what I do. And that's what makes our shows unique and different, to where you could listen to their show, you could listen to my show, and you're not hearing the same shit regurgitated. Now, to the other point, Mr. Jonathan, I appreciate the offer, and I'll just go ahead and say it now. I will take you up on the offer, but I gotta say, man, saying I'm gonna put him in the basement. I just don't want a basket being lowered down with a bottle of lotion in it, and you're at the top of the stairs being all like, it puts the lotion on its skin or it gets the hose again. We don't want any of that bullshit going on. Because let's be real, you're a thin dude. You could make a skin suit out of me. So let's avoid the Buffalo Bill bullshit. And I would appreciate it if maybe the basement wasn't outfitted with a whole bunch of sex swings and various harnesses and hooks and various things like that. Also, I'm going to be looking if there's a blinking red light in the corner of the basement. I'm going to assume I'm on tape, and that's going to be a bit of an issue for me as well. But it is greatly appreciated. I will say, part of me is sitting here also thinking like, man, I really don't want to impose. I don't want to impose, and because I know he's going to be very busy leading up to the Cigar Expo. But I guess the other thing I could say to that, and this is an open statement to both he and Dave. Obviously I'm there. I'm there for the expo. If you need help, if you need like volunteer help doing something, put me to work. I don't mind. I'll help out. What else do I have to do? As long as I can be smoking a cigar while I'm doing it, I'll help out. So anyway, so thank you. It's kind of as long as I'm not sleeping in a cellar and there's not critters or sex swings, I think I'll feel okay with it. So anyway, that was what I had to say about that. Now, let's move on. We have two more calls here. And we will listen to those, and then we will get into some other fun stuff.
Hey, Nick, how you doing? This is Dakota in Tennessee. You did correctly last time you said you thought I was a state park ranger. You're correct. And man, we have some wild stories. And I don't know if you're interested in them. I'll gladly share them with you and what do we call the people that listen? The pulpiteers? Is that what we call the people that listen to this? I don't know.
Parishioners.
But from now on, they're the pulpiteers. Anyway.
The pulpiteers.
So, yes, I am a state park ranger, and we have some wild stories. So if you're ever interested, for example, I have a story that just happened about how we scared the living shit out of this, gentleman, I guess, that was on the premises who was a known stalker and was showing all signs that he was actively trying to do something funky, and we scared the living shit out of him. It was the funniest thing, because that he left in a hurry. It was great. Anyway, I got a bunch of stories.
Was it Jerry
so if y'all are
Pulaski?
interested in hearing those, just let me know. Unless some of them might get too real, I don't know. Just let me know. I will say this, though. I just got a shipment of a bunch of new cigars. Let me go over them real quick. Nika Rustica Broadleaf by Drew Estate El Brujito.
Okay.
Got 5 of those. I don't know what those are. But I guess they're Drew Estate. I know Drew Estate makes a wide range of different quality cigars, but I'm excited for those. I got the Isla del Sol Churchill Sun-Grown, and then I got variety sizes. Great Cliff Artisan Pinstripe. I think that's going to be my favorite, but it's my first pinstripe I've ever got. And I should have got the La Giana, to be honest. I will say this, though. We've had a recent career path change in my household, and we will now be pinching pennies until a particular degree has been got. So I will probably have to stick with this shameless purchasing of things I have never heard of. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, nice talking with y'all, Nick, the Pulpiteers. Y'all have a nice one.
Well, Dakota, I'm sorry to hear about the career change in the household and the needing to pinch pennies. I mean, you know, it seems to be a fairly common issue these days. I hear about that with a lot of people, and you know, I hope that whoever it is, I'm assuming maybe your wife. I don't know who it is. I mean, you're still a park ranger, I assume. So, you know, maybe it is you. I don't know, but you know, hopefully it's a quick process, and you know, you can get back on your feet and doing whatever. So hopefully that straightens itself out. Yeah, in terms of the cigars that you listed off, I mean, I've smoked all of them. I don't think I've smoked that Gray Cliff, that specific Gray Cliff. I've smoked other Gray Cliffs. You know, they're not bad, you know, for what they are. You know, kind of a more affordable cigar. I'm trying to remember. I don't know if I got like a ton of, like, you know, flavor variances and all that, but I do remember the construction on them being very well made. So, you know, dude, I mean, look, man, you got to do what you got to do, and you know, you can find some good, you know, affordable cigars. You know, are they going to be the most diverse with their flavor changes and this and that and everything? No, maybe not. But if you like the flavor, then who cares if you have that same flavor the whole cigar through? If you like it, then you like it. You know, it's fine. So, yeah, I mean, go for it. And but yeah, no, awesome. I'm glad that you're getting some cigars. And yes, I think it'd be fun to talk about, you know, some of the wacky stories of being a park ranger. I don't necessarily. I'm curious to know how a stalker, or scaring the shit out of a stalker, is. I mean, was he stalking like a person at the park? Like maybe there were some, like, you know, young college girls out doing a camping trip, and this guy's like looking in the bushes at him or some bullshit, and you guys caught him. I mean, like, you know, I'm just trying to think like how this goes. Or is he out there stalking like a deer, and, you know, or animals or something? I mean, I don't know how this goes, but like I would think that somebody that you're designating as a stalker is kind of concerning, but I don't know. Anyway, we got another call here from Dakota, and then we will wrap up the Ask the Pulpit.
Hello again, Nick. This is Dakota. Hi, Pulpiteers. Anyway, I just wanted to say that I'm actually very appreciative of the feature of calling in. If we, you know, get to the 3-minute limit and we believe we have completely and utterly fudged the voicemail and we would like to do it again, there's actually an option to re-record. That is excellent. It's the only podcast I call into that actually has that option, which is great. Because, dear Lord, I messed some up, and I don't want to send them in. But, you know, I don't have choices on the other ones. I have a choice here. That's awesome. Yeah. Also, I get to make a short one, and I'm talking on the truck right now. I set up directly on my phone, and I get to hear the difference in how it sounds. You know. Anyway. Thank you for that feature. That's all I'm saying. Peace out.
You know what? You're welcome. I didn't realize that was a feature of this little system that I use, but you know, I'm glad to know that it is, and I'm glad that you are appreciative of it. So anyway, Dakota, always good to hear from you, buddy. So guys, that has been the Ask the Pulpit. If you guys want to participate in the next round of calls and questions, you know, statements, concerns, comments, whatever you have, you're just sitting out like Dennis sitting out with a cigar and a dram, and you just want to BS for a minute, you know, give me a call. Area code 863-874-0000. I am in the second third, entering into the final third of this Addict series from West Tampa Tobacco. The retro hail on this thing, that's where the strength is. That's where the peppery spice, that's where the kind of oomph of this cigar is. Smoking wise, I would say that, it's deceptive. After getting through this, almost getting through the second third, it still feels like kind of a mild smoke, but it is kind of weighing a little heavier. So there is a little deceptive strength to it. It's really good. I mean, it's super smooth. The burn line on this thing has been immaculate. The construction of it's been great. The draw on it's been wonderful. Smoke production's been great. I have absolutely nothing bad to say about the West Tampa Tobacco Addict Series cigar. So now let's go ahead and do this. It's time to fly high with Blackbird Cigars. Blackbird Cigars offers you remarkable quality using the most delicate and finest tobacco to always ensure that you're receiving unsurpassed cigars. Blackbird Cigars strives to give you undoubted repeating flavor for every cigar you smoke and impressive quality so that you can always expect greatness. Check out their website for a full list of stores carrying Blackbird Cigars and give them a test flight. Blackbird Cigars, can't clip our wings. All right, guys, this is the point in the show that I give you a story. I give you a story of somebody who did something particularly badass that we feel we need to highlight and, maybe inspire you to great heights as well. So today I'm going to be talking about William Pruitt. William Pruitt is known for fully completing the entire Kona course on day 5. The Kona course refers to the Epic 5 Challenge, which is 5 iron distance triathlons on 5 different islands in Hawaii for 5 consecutive days. Pruitt completed the full course of the challenge in 2011. He basically swam, get this, 2.4 miles, biked 112 miles, and ran 26.2 miles for 5 consecutive days on 5 different Hawaiian islands. So guys, be like William Pruitt and Blackbird Cigars, and don't let anybody clip your wings. So, now, let's talk coffee. It's time to talk coffee. And when we're talking about coffee, the only coffee that we're talking about is fucking good coffee. You guys can go over to fuckinggoodcoffee.com. You can look at all the different coffee blends that Nick has available on there. He's got everything from a light roast to a dark roast to cover all your different coffee drinking palates. And because he also, is a cigar smoker and big into cigars, all of his coffees are designed to pair well with cigars. The Lounge Blend is specifically designed to pair with any cigar. It will work with your lightest cigar all the way to your heaviest cigar. And you're going to want to give that a shot. I've got a whole bunch of the Lounge Blend in the house, and I've been drinking that in the mornings with my cigars out here on the patio, and it's a wonderful, wonderful experience. So, if you're looking to expand your coffee drinking experience beyond the Folgers and the stuff you get at the store, head on over to fuckinggoodcoffee.com. Give them a try. Don't be a fucker. Drink fucking good. And if you're at the New England Cigar Expo, I'm pretty sure, I don't want to 100%, I have yet to confirm this, but I know last year everybody that were VIPs at least drank the fucking good coffee at their in their little breakfast area. So you may be doing that again this year, I think. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure. So you got that going for you if you're attending the expo and are a VIP. Anyway, and then in terms of the socials, I'm available on Instagram at the Cigar Pulpit. I'm on Facebook where we have the Pulpit Parishioners group page. You can get in on the fun there. Everybody's kind of sharing, what they're smoking, doing stuff. I know Dakota, he jumped in on that and became a very active member of the group right away. And, it's always nice to get interaction going on in there. And then there's Twitter/X, there's YouTube where you can watch this, And once again, I need your calls in order to do episodes like this. So give me a call on the hotline, area code 863-874-0000, and leave me your messages. Leave me your thoughts, questions, comments, whatever you have, and I'll be happy to address them with you on the show. Anyway, I am thoroughly enjoying this Addict series that Ed Sullivan sent me. And I want to once again thank him for being so kind as to send me these cigars. I was sitting down trying to figure out what I was going to smoke on this show. And, I was originally thinking, we'll just smoke one of my standbys. But it's like, I want to smoke something a little different. And this one just kind of spoke to me. And I'm happy it did. As I'm entering into the final third, I'm getting a little bit more of the spice and pepper on the actual smoking experience. So that's kind of creeping in there. It's not anything remotely oppressive or heavy, but it's just a little bit of flavor diversity kind of coming in on it. And it's nice. I'm digging it. And, but no, fantastic cigar from Rick and Sarah Rodriguez down there at West Tampa Tobacco, and they've been knocking it out of the park, and hopefully we'll have them back on the show here soon. They've had a few new things that have been coming out, and I want to get them on the show to highlight that. I think that's post Pulpit Fest kind of a thing that we're going to look at, but kind of building out the calendar a little bit. It's slowly building. I have a lot of organizational work to do. I love that Dave said, be prepared when you sit down and do a podcast. Dave, of the 500 plus episodes of this that I've done, if I told you how many of those episodes I did where I sat down and had absolutely no freaking idea what I was going to talk about until the light went on, you'd be shocked. But or maybe you wouldn't, because you've listened to a lot of them. So maybe you wouldn't. So anyway, It all comes together, I guess. Some may be better than others. But anyway, we got that going for us. Oh, I guess I could do this real quick before I go, because I don't think I did this on Tuesday's show.
Guess what, motherfucker?
It's time for 3 cigars we smoked and enjoyed this week. And let me bring up my list here. I know that the first one that I have to mention is one that I smoked on the patio just earlier today. My friend Tom came by, and he and I sat out and had a couple of cigars. He was in the area, and he asked if I wanted to go to one of the lounges around here, and I told him that I actually was on a bit of a time crunch. So today was my son's school open house. He starts 3rd grade tomorrow, and so tonight was the night where you go and you kind of tour the classroom and meet the teacher and all that kind of stuff. And so I had to go by there and do that. And so I was on a bit of a time crunch and didn't really particularly want to be super smoky smelling, So I was just planning on sitting out on my patio and having a cigar this afternoon. So he just came over here and we cracked into the humidor, and he and I both smoked a Yagua. So I had a Yagua from J.C. Newman earlier today, and it smoked wonderfully. It was a nice, good, flavorful smoke. You get that kind of hay and barnyard flavors and components from it, and I'll say that it's also it's a long smoke. You get some legitimate time out of that cigar. So it was really, really nice. So I enjoyed that. The next one that I had that I wanted to highlight is the New World by AJ Fernandez. I'm just going off what was on the label. The Gubernador. I don't know. It was a good cigar. I picked it up over at Total Wine for a fairly inexpensive price, and it smoked wonderfully, tasted wonderfully, and for that price point, I'll be buying it again. So even though it was a box press, it was a good cigar. And the last one that I had, I actually started my morning on what day would that have been? Sunday? No. What day would that have been, actually? That would have been Saturday? That was Saturday morning. Saturday morning, I started my day with the Villiger Cooler Connecticut Crim. It's their little Connecticut cigar. And I had a Robusto and a cup of fucking good coffee. And it was just a really nice way to enjoy the morning, because we've had some extraordinarily hot weather, and lately it is broken. And so sitting out on the patio in the morning when it's not quite 70 degrees and everything like that has been just wonderful. I have been thoroughly enjoying that period of time each day. And so it was a nice way to start my day with a relatively light, mild, creamy Connecticut cigar from Villiger and some coffee. So it was that's what I've been smoking lately. Anyway, I did the socials, I did the coffee, I did all that. So I guess now it's time for me to say, guys, thank you for listening. Coming up on Tuesday, we will have Renee Castaneda of Villiger Cigars. We're going to go all over Pulpit Fest. We're going to talk all about Villiger's involvement in Pulpit Fest, what they're bringing to the table, stuff that if you are attending Pulpit Fest, you're going to want to listen, because it is going to it's going to be impressive. And Renee has gone all out for this, and I cannot thank him and the fine folks at Villiger enough for truly getting behind this event and making it something special. We're really trying to change the event. In past years, don't get me wrong, I've had a wonderful time at past year Pulpit Fest. But in past years, it was people came to St. Louis and we sat around and smoked cigars. Here, we're doing something a little bit different. We're going to Florida. We're bringing in manufacturers. We're bringing in, a lot of products, for everybody to both try and purchase from Ken. We're going to have a few contests and games. We're going to have raffles. There's going to be some truly badass stuff for the folks attending Pulpit Fest, and I cannot wait to see how it all comes together. I have to admit that I have a little bit of nerves, now that we're by the time this episode drops, it'll be 1 week to the first day of Pulpit Fest. And so, I have to admit to being slightly nervous about being so close to the event. It's like, you put so much effort into something and you just hope it comes together well. I know that this is not at the same scale as what Dave pulled off last year with the New England Cigar Expo, but I'll tell you what, I feel like I can relate to maybe some of the nerves that he had leading up to that event. Assuming he had nerves. For all I know, he was cool as a cucumber. Having done 37 other prior, two guys' anniversary parties and everything. But last year was a significantly different change for him, with the expo. So I don't know. Maybe it was nerve-wracking for him. But for me, it's nerve-wracking, and I'm hoping. I know it'll come together well, but doesn't mean that I'm not a little nervous about it. But anyway, so that's what we have coming up on Tuesday is Renee. So if you guys are attending Pulpit Fest, you're not going to want to miss that episode. And if you're not attending Pulpit Fest, prepare to have the FOMO button hit really, really hard, because you're gonna miss out this year. But there's always next year, and next year, assuming this year goes as swimmingly as I think it will, there's nowhere to go but up. So anyway, guys, this has been another sermon from the Cigar Pulpit. I am Nick. Everybody, stay safe, stay smoky. Take it easy, everybody.